Hello, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and please check out my channel for other updates. So the last update about Taste of Fate. Ranbir finally divorced Rhea by tricking her into drinking and then signing the divorce papers. But Prachi had already left the Kohli's house as at that time. But thank God that Stanley follows Prachi. Let's continue. Ranbir comes to Prachi's room and he finds her missing. He thinks if Prachi has gone, he gets Stanley's message and thinks that this is Sarita Auntie's address, and if Prachi has gone there, he collides with Aliyah. Aliyah asks where is he going to. Ranbir says I will tell you later and he goes. Aliyah comes to Prachi's room and sees her stuff missing. She smiles. Prachi tells Shahana that when Ranbir came to our house for the first time, he was happy and talking, but I thought that when he would go, I didn't like him and then he asked for tea and he insisted to have 7 spoonfuls sugar. My hand was burnt. Prachi says to Shahana that I thought that everything would be good and life would be beautiful in love, but everything was messy and I couldn't be happy in love and I couldn't live without his love. She says she wanted such love which has trust and respect, but Ranbir's love never gave me this. Prachi asks if she is saying wrong and says she never demanded for anything like other girls. She wants some love, trust and respect, which she never got. She says she feels that if there was no love. Stanley knocks on the door. Shahana opens the door. Ranbir comes there and comes inside. He says, I want to talk to you, and he asks Prachi to hear him. Ranbir requests Prachi to give him some hours from her life and says you will get all your answers in few minutes. He asks Prachi to come home for some time. Prachi says, I will not come. I don't trust you. Ranbir asks if you have told everything truly to me. Prachi thinks about hiding her pregnancy. She says, let's go. A servant brings cake and says Ranbir had asked for it. Grandma asks Rhea, why is she sad? Rhea says you wanted this. Grandma says maybe I scolded you much in a drunken state. She goes. Aliyah says she couldn't bear her. Rhea says even she couldn't bear Grandma from day one. But what can she do? She is my grandmother-in-law. She asks where is Ranbir? Ranbir comes there with Prachi and Stanley. Rhea says Ranbir and Prachi will not be seen together after some time. Shahana asks why is there a big wall clock? Ranbir signals to Stanley and beats spoon on the glass and says we might be thinking what is wrong in the party and says life gives us surprises and we never used to think in childhood what will be the result of our actions. Prachi recalls Ranbir's love confession. Ranbir says he has thought so much and he thought something about a special person. He says I thought even alone and I wanted to say this in front of everyone as that person said that I don't say anything. Shahana thinks that Ranbir is going to propose to Prachi in front of everyone. Ranbir says life doesn't give us chance again and again, but we get a chance when we love. Love gives you a chance to fix the mistakes. Rhea thinks if Ranbir is going to propose to Prachi, why is he looking at Prachi? It is going to be 12 a.m. soon. She goes to the stairs. Ranbir tells Prachi that everything happened for. Then, before he could complete his statement, the clock strikes 12 o'clock. Rhea falls down unconscious. Aliyah shouted Rhea and asked if there is doctor here. Prachi says we should take her in the car. Ranbir says we will take her in the car. They all rush Rhea to the hospital. The doctor goes to check Rhea and close the door. Aliyah says how would the doctor treat her? Vikram says I called the doctor and I told the doctor where Rhea is hot. Aliyah says Rhea was waiting for 12 a.m. eagerly. Pallavi says Rhea's happiness got a bad side. Ranbir thinks if Rhea fainted due to the drink. Prachi prays that Rhea should get fine. Shahana says you are praying for Rhea. Prachi says Rhea is my sister and my family. Shahana says I am here with everyone and I don't understand your drama. Grandma asks Stanley why did he come here. Stanley says it was a panic situation. And Ranbir quickly says that Stanley came with me. Grandma misunderstands and looks at Pallavi. Ranbir asks Stanley to meet him in the office. He then stops Stanley and says I need to talk to you and says don't tell anything to anyone. Whatever we plan for Prachi and Rhea. Stanley asks what is it and he smiles. Ranbir thanks him and hugs him. He says I will meet you in the office. Stanley asks Ranbir are you fine? Ranbir says yes. We planned so much. The timing was perfect. We will try again as good things take time. Stanley leaves. Prachi says Rhea should get fine. Shahana says she will be fine and says sorry and says I should understand that you will never hate Rhea. Prachi recalls Ranbir's words and says I thought Ranbir was about to talk something important to me. I felt that Ranbir was about to tell something that will make me happy, that he knows that I am pregnant and that he wanted to make a new start with me and that we should start in the same rented house. Prachi says she felt that since Ranbir knows about her pregnancy, then he would want to start again with she and her baby, and I've realized that you are his word and he will fight with everyone for us. She cries. Shahana asks Prachi not to cry. Prachi says, I am afraid that this shall not be my imagination. Shahana says Ranbir would have told you this when Rhea falls down. Ranbir comes to Prachi and asks if she is worried about Rhea. He says nothing would happen to her. We have brought her at the right time. He says, I want to talk to you about something, but this place and time is not right. But I cannot stop it. He says, I know that you, but he couldn't complete his statement. And he says, basically, I wanted to tell you this. But before Ranbir could talk, Aliyah comes there and says, Pallavi is calling you. It is urgent. Ranbir goes with Aliyah. Pallavi scolds Ranbir for roaming around with Prachi as if it is a mall and not hospital. Grandma says even you did not know the difference between the mall and hospital, then you wouldn't have done this. Pallavi gets upset and scolds Ranbir. Ranbir asks, what did I do? Aliyah says Rhea is undergoing operation and you are here roaming around with Prachi. That is why Pallavi is upset with you. Ranbir asks what would happen if I stay outside and not here. Shahana says they were talking about Rhea. Aliyah asks, did anyone ask you? Grandma says even you talked, then Shahana can talk too. The doctor comes out and asks them to smile and says it is a good news. Rhea got consciousness and says congrats, Rhea is pregnant. Pallavi and Aliyah are happy. Prachi, Ranbir and Shahana are shocked. Aliyah congratulates Ranbir and then Pallavi. Pallavi says Rhea is going to become a mother and you are going to become a father. The doctor congratulates Ranbir and asks him to meet his wife. Aliyah says we will meet her later and I will meet her first. Pallavi sends Ranbir to meet Rhea. Ranbir is in shock. He thinks that how is this possible? How can Rhea get pregnant? Ranbir sees Rhea in the ward and thinks of the holy night. He thinks that this means that Rhea and he thinks that he has taken Rhea's signature on the divorce papers. Prachi is walking on the road and she says even I am pregnant, but nobody congratulated me or loved me, neither my family nor Ranbir. Prachi sits on the road and cries. She says, I am sorry, my baby. I thought that you would get your father's love and name, but your father is not like I thought. He left me first and then you. She cries and recalls Ranbir telling her that he wants to be a baby girl's father, who will call him father. She says, why did you do this with my baby Ranbir? She cries. Ranbir comes to Rhea's ward and says, I. Rhea says, I. Ranbir asks, how is she? Rhea says, I am sorry for ruining your party. Everything was going well and says you got in stress due to me. Ranbir asks, how is this possible? Rhea says, I really don't know. She says she got dizzy and she fell down. She says, I thought that I had something wrong. Ranbir thinks that Rhea did not know about her pregnancy. Aliyah, Pallavi, Vikram and Grandma congratulate Rhea. Rhea asks, why are you congratulating me? Pallavi says you are pregnant. Rhea asks, really? Aliyah says yes. Pallavi says she wants to announce this so that everyone come and bless Rhea and her baby. Rhea asks Ranbir if Prachi knows about her pregnancy. Ranbir goes away from there. Pallavi asks Rhea what kind of party does she want, traditional or modern. Aliyah says traditional. Shahana comes to Prachi and asks her to see and walk. She takes her away from there. Ranbir comes out calling Prachi. He thinks that where is Prachi? He recalls Rhea's pregnancy news and hearing Prachi's baby heartbeat. Shahana makes Prachi sit on the side bench and asks, what were you trying to do? She scolds her and says, I will bring the auto for you. She checks her and says, you have fever. Prachi recalls Ranbir and her moment together and also Ranbir's promises. Ranbir comes home calling Prachi. Mahua says Prachi did not come home. Ranbir says then, where did Prachi go to? You might have seen her. Mahua says she has locked the door and opened the backside door to feed the dogs for some times. Pallavi returns home with Rhea and all the family. She says Rhea is in front of you. Rhea says aunt and mommy are taking care of me as if I am delivering my baby tomorrow. Aliyah says I will take care of you for 9 months. Rhea says you will not let me keep my feet on the floor. Aliyah says Ranbir will do this. Vikram asks, where are you lost, Ranbir? Ranbir asks, where is Prachi? Prachi returns and stops and says, should I get inside or not? Shahana says, this is your home. Prachi says, nobody welcomed me after marriage, but I thought that my baby and I will be welcomed. But leave it. I am thinking if I should come here or not. Shahana says a big storm have come and she asks Prachi to have patience and stand on her place. Prachi steps inside. Aliyah asks, enough Ranbir. Why are you calling Prachi's name always? She says you should be happy that Rhea is pregnant. Grandma says Ranbir is not happy and he is thinking of something. Pallavi says pregnancy news bring new responsibility for a father. Ranbir is serious and that doesn't mean that he is not happy. She asks her not to compare Prachi and Rhea. Grandma says I did not take Prachi's name. Aliyah says Ranbir and Rhea have moved on in their relationship. Rhea is going to give Grandma the heir and she asked Grandma, will you not accept Rhea as your daughter-in-law? Aliyah asked Grandma to regard Prachi as her daughter-in-law, but she should not trouble Rhea. Pallavi says the same goes for me, and she taunts Grandma, asking her not to trouble Rhea. She says Rhea is going to be the mother of the heir, and says she will not hear anything against her. Ranbir says, Mom, Pallavi asks Ranbir to respect his baby's mother and take care of her, and stop worrying about Prachi. She asks Mahua to just take care of Rhea. Rhea says if I am dreaming to get so much love. Pallavi asks her and says the time has come to fulfill the dreams and you totally deserve it. Pallavi says to Ranbir that you have to be ready for the celebration. Ranbir asks celebration. Vikram says your mom has kept traditional celebration for Rhea, where the guests will come and bless Rhea and her baby. Pallavi asks Ranbir to take Rhea to the room. Ranbir holds Rhea's hand to take her to the room. He stops after seeing Prachi. Aliyah asks Ranbir to take Rhea to his room. Prachi gets hairy eyes. Ranbir takes Rhea to his room. Pallavi comes to Prachi and says you don't think good. At least you can congratulate your sister fakely. Ranbir takes Rhea to the room. She asks what is the matter. Ranbir says I want to go and meet Prachi. Rhea says I understand. Ranbir says you don't understand and says nobody can understand what is happening with him. Rhea asks Ranbir to talk to her. Ranbir says I will talk to you after talking to Prachi. Rhea asks what were you going to talk to Prachi? Ranbir says so much. I have so much to tell Prachi. He gets hairy eyes. Prachi is devastated and she says that she thought that Ranbir would apologize to her and their baby, but Ranbir couldn't fulfill the relationship for this bat. She says I was mad to ignore seeing them together. Shahana asks Prachi not to cry and says it would have bad effect on the baby. Prachi says it would have effect anyhow as her dreams will not be fulfilled. Prachi painfully says that love is betrayal. Oh my God. So someone has asked in the comment section before if it is true that Rhea is truly pregnant. I will say that it is true that Rhea can be pregnant, and it is also true that Rhea may be using this in order to get close to Ranbir. But if it is true that Rhea is pregnant, then Siddharth is definitely the father of Rhea's baby. Don't forget that the day Ranbir and Prachi consummated their marriage, Siddharth and Rhea also consummated their marriage at the resort that day, if you can remember. I will leave the link to that video in the description box below. So Siddharth is Rhea's baby's father. That is, if Rhea is actually truly pregnant. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like my videos, share it, and please subscribe to this channel for more. Thank you.